He who prompted the writing of his own life story, as he quite casually set up the quern to grind corn, thereby guiding his devotees on the path of righteousness. Oh, how remarkable is his skill! The Guru is even more powerful than moksha, which is the greatest of the four ultimate goals of human life. And when the holy water, teeth of the feet of such a Guru is taken, moksha comes home quite imperceptibly. Only when the Guru bestows favor will the worldly life be happy. Things will happen which would have never happened normally, and in half a second, he will take you to the shore beyond. Though so much of this Pothi has been narrated, yet the story has only been told in a condensed form. Oh, how much of Sai's unfathomable glory can I narrate? The divine figure of Sai is lost, whose darshan always brought great satisfaction, whose company meant the enjoyment of greatest happiness, as he liberated us from the fear of worldly life. Gone is the radiant form of Sai, that induced us to follow the spiritual path, who turned us back from Maya and delusions, and brought us our greatest welfare and security. Lost indeed is the figure of Sai, because of whom there was no fear of worldly life, but an awareness of a spiritual way of life prevailed, and we developed a fortitude in the face of trouble. Leaving behind his own figure in our memory to meditate upon, Sai has gone to his eternal abode, ending his avatar on this earth. Truly inconceivable is his state of yoga. No sooner was the mission of his incarnation fulfilled than his mortal coil has disappeared from our sight. Yet his memory will be revived at every step by this book, which is a literally embodiment of Baba. Besides the concentration that the mind gains on listening to his stories, the peace born thereof is simply indescribable in words. All you listeners, you are wise, and before you I am of slight knowledge, but this sacrificial offering of speech to Sai. Hence, revere it gratefully. This sacrificial offering of words is beneficial, and Sai, who knows his mission, is getting it done through me. The all knowing listeners know this well. After making obeisance at Sai's feet, first, he who listens to these auspicious and purifying tales with a concentrated mind, the devotee who, being most eager to attain his own will, listens to these nectar-sweet tales with devotion and single-minded concentration. His cherished ends will be accomplished by Sai. His worldly and spiritual ends will be fulfilled. In that, he will thus get fulfillment. His service will never go waste. At the end of 44 chapters, the story of Sai's Niryan has been listened to. Towards the end, yet the progress of this Pothi still continues. This is a mystery one fails to understand. In the previous chapter, the account of Sai's Niryan has been completed in its proper order. Still, Sai Leela knows no rest, even for a moment, like the insect cutting. And if you go to see, this is not really surprising. For the Niryan is only for the body, as the Sai is beyond birth and death and continues to dwell in the unmanifest as before. His body has gone, and so has the form, but he still remains in the unmanifest, just as he was. Everyone knows of his leelas, which continue even after he is abandoning his body. And as for narrating them, these are also unlimited in number. But to avoid lengthening this book, we will just take from them their essence and present it to the listeners. Blessed is their good fortune that at the same time that Sai incarnated, we too had his holy company easily and repeatedly. But in spite of this, if we did not renounce the worldly life, if we did not nurture a love for God, can there be a greater fall? To have all the body organs filled with Sai devotion is the true Sai worship, or else the eyes may be gazing at Sai's form, but the speech fails, as the mouth will not open. The ears may be listening to Sai Kirtan, but the tongue is busy, savoring the sweet mango juice, and the hands may be touching Sai's sacred feet, but they may be finding the touch of The soft matter is just irresistible. Can he become true Sai devotee who cannot bear to be away from Sai even for a moment? Can he be considered as attached to Sai's feet? He is not detached from the worldly life. A woman will bow respectfully anyone else coming her way other than her husband, looking upon him as her father-in-law or brother-in-law or brother. Such is the unserving mind of a chaste, dutiful wife, who never abandons her home but has boundless love for her husband, who is a one refuge in her lifetime. Such a chaste, virtuous, saintly wife never imagines anyone else as her husband or thinks of taking his darshan. To her own husband is the one and only one, with whom no one else can ever be compared. For him alone is a steadfast love, and so also is the love a disciple feels for the Guru. A disciple's love for his Guru is compared to the steadfast love of a chaste wife for her husband. But the disciple's love towards the Guru has no limit. Only the true disciple knows his greatness. And then those who are of no help even in this worldly life, what help can there be in the spiritual life? Be it the father-in-law of a son, or a daughter, or a son-in-law, or even one's wife, we can be sure of none. Mother, father, and will shower love and affection. Once one son will have an eye on the wealth. The wife will shed tears for the husband's long life. There is no companion in spiritual life. If one concludes on careful thought as to who then remains who cannot help attain spiritual progress, the answer that remains in the end is you yourself. Blessed is he who, discriminating between the transient and the eternal, gives up the desire for the fruit in this world and the next, and practicing the six basic principles of Shama, Dama, etc., finally attains moksha. Giving up dependence on another, who keeps a firm confidence in himself and guards himself for the effort, he alone will attain moksha. Brahman is eternal. The world is transient. Guru is the only true Brahman. Abandon the transient, for Guru alone is worthy of being dedicated upon. Such a constant feeling is the only means of spiritual progress. By abandoning the transient, detachment is generated. The universal consciousness of the Brahman fills the Sadguru. The presence of God is felt in all the living creatures. This is called the worship of non-duality. Know that whether out of love or fear of love, whoever meditates constantly upon whatever object, that meditator will become one with that object. As someone in the case of Kamsa, Ravan and the insect, who became Krishna, Ram and the black bee respectively. There should be single-mindedness in the meditation. Then there is no other means like meditation. He who does this sadhana on his own will uplift himself at once. Then how can there be birth, death here? The consciousness of the body is completely forgotten. Awareness of the worldly life disappears. Only the bliss of self-absorption is experienced. Hence go on repeating the name of your Guru. From it is born the highest bliss. God is seen in all the living beings. What can be the great significance of Nam other than this? A sincere obeisance to Him whose name has such greatness and power. I surrender to Him single-mindedly with my heart, speech and action. I shall now narrate to the listeners a relevant story in this context. So for your own benefit, listen to it with concentration. Everyone knows that the late Karthaka Dikshit used to recite Eknath Bhagavat, commentary of the 11th canto of the Bhagavat, every day by the command of Sai Samas. One day after the meal was over, Dikshit read the Poti, as was his daily practice at Kaka Mahajin's residence at Saubhati in Bombay. As the listeners heard the most interesting second chapter of Eknath Bhagavat, their hearts were filled with peace and happiness. Kaka Mahajani, along with Baba's devotee Madhurao, sat listening with great concentration. Fortunately, the story too turned out to be fine and very sweet, so as to satisfy the fond desire of the listeners, creating them a love for God worship. The sweet tale which has come up for narration is of the preaching and instructing one of the 9 illustrious brothers, Hari, Antariksha, etc., who enhanced the glory of the Rishabh family. All the 9 of them are manifestations of God, who had in them boundless peace and forgiveness. Listening to the power and glory of Bhagavad Dharma, King Janak became silent with not a word.